Okay. Hello everybody. I'm posting another video. This video has two purposes. The first and primary purpose, if you are in David Tomb's Let's Talk UVS Discord, you may have seen before the final round LC. I posted my list, and there were some comments made by some people about my sideboard and the fact that it had 3 copies of Weapon Clash in it. Now, I did admit during this conversation that under normal circumstances, I would not have sideboarded it. And I did also say during the event that it did come up for the matchups that I cited it for. However, one Disaster Dan is upset that I did not apologize to him specifically for saying that the card would not normally be in my sideboard in my video. So I'm doing that now. Um, the second purpose of this video, I have here 6 deck lists. And these are not final versions by any means, but the Jacksonville LC at Counterspell Games is in like 2.5 weeks, and I don't know what I'm playing yet. I'm currently leaning towards this deck, Titan of Terror, just because winning is cool, and I would like to get another voucher and more promos. But I'm not 100% on it because I also like to play other decks that are cool. Um, Normally, I will say it would be very easy for me to choose between meta deck and deck for fun when the stakes are much lower. I already have my invite, so I don't care nearly as much about winning. But this deck is actually kind of fun for me. So I've chosen 6 decks that are I like a lot that I'm going to I want to mess with, and I will post a link to a Google form in the description and in all the discords. And if you could vote on what character or deck you think I should play, I would greatly appreciate it. I'll go ahead and sort by difficulty because that's how I like to look at decks. This is my adjusted Titan of Terror list. It is already different from my previous one. Um, if you'll notice, I actually cut Biolante Arrives, but that's about the only difference. Oh no, there's a couple differences. There's a couple changes. But yeah, it's the same deck as it was, about 95%. It's still quite cool. I quite like this guy, and that might be cringe, and I'm okay with that. I don't really have much to say about this guy, but we'll just move on. Next up, okay. Next up, I have this is heavily borrowed from the list that Mitchell himself won in LC with. I have slimmed it down a little, and I think that's mostly it. Um, it is this character is a lot of fun, um, and yeah, that's about all I have to say there. I think he's really cool. I like the sort of like if Titan of Terror is like a mid range deck that leans aggro, this is like it's a very tall mid range deck that would honestly lean control. Um, there's a lot of work that I would have to do if I was going to play this at an event, which is fine. I like doing that, but this is currently in the running as well. I love the good symbol. If you've seen my status at any point since Godzilla came out, it's the good symbol is back in a big way. Um, and I like what this guy does. I like just raw card advantage every turn. You can just get a bunch of cards, a lot. It's very cool. He does some cool stuff, and I like him. Uh, yeah. This video is gonna be a lot shorter than I thought it was, huh? Because I'm not really going card by card. And that's where a lot of the things comes from. We'll talk about Queen of the Monsters always having momentum, and then you play Queen of the Monsters, you spend a momentum, and you go to the Mitchell zone, and you draw it later, and then you draw a card, and you build a foundation. That's like drawing 3 cards, basically. It's awesome. Blasting off, spend a momentum for EX, draw a card, essentially. Spend a momentum for powerful, draw a card, essentially. Um, if um, if you are one specific person, you will know that I made fun of this card. But he played it, and I'm willing to try it. It puts people in deadlock for my deadlock stun 3, and like I'm playing 3 Undercover Infiltration and 3 Men Showdowns, which both have great deadlock text. And there's some more. Oh, there's actually not. But yeah, those are good deadlock cards. Um, so yeah, I like this guy. He's quite cool. I've messed around with Mitchell since he's come out. In general, I really like playing champ cards. And that's true. Oh wow, I'm so lucky that this is the next one on the list. I did not do that on purpose. Next up is Jacob Johnson, another insanely cool character. He really cooked. He really did. This is a list I've been working on since Godzilla, not just from one specific thing. And I got to talk to Chris Miner a good bit at the Final Round LC and a good bit afterwards about this deck. It is so cool. It is so cool. And that's gonna be like 99% of the commentary on these decks. Is, oh man, it's so cool. You block with the same Protector of Life for like 30 years. Um, it's he's so cool. You ever block on no progressive forever, and you can Ocean Buddies in. You wipe out all humans for 2 damage and all your moves, which is not my technology. This is Chris Miner technology. Um, it's it's so cool, man. And acidic sludge in this character, and acidic sludge in any character that draws on face, which is a theme that will come up in one of the later decks, is so awesome. This card is crazy. This card is crazy, and it's awesome. This deck makes me happy. It's just I love blocking, and this deck blocks a lot. Um, the good symbol is back in a big way, baby. It's Mechagodzilla, modified Type 3 Kiryu. Speaking of blocking, this deck also blocks a lot. Target commit on block. When I read this character, I would not shut up about it for like 5 days to people who barely play this game. Um, my poor group chat that is mostly the friends I used to play Commander with got exposed to, oh my god, target commit on block. And that was like all I said for the next like couple days. This is a deck I've already played a good chunk of, and it's quite cool. The thing of Sword Get Longer with Census Ho is quite nice. Um, and I think actually, no, okay, that's not true. Um, but yeah, you block everything, and he's like, in general, I enjoy the backswing play style, but I tend to not think it's very good. I think most good players can really play around it and sort of take advantage of it if you're playing a deck that's like really trying to bait them into overcommitting. This is a deck that kind of gets around that because just by playing an attack, as long as I have the ability to completely block it, I will have advantage for not just this turn but my next turn, which is quite cool. And yeah, I like this one a lot. Target commit on block, man. That's awesome. That's just awesome. Next up is Mr. Splinter. Um, in general, I don't consider myself much of a pet deck haver. And the sideboard's not done. You can ignore that. Not all of these decks have a sideboard because I'm lazy. And this deck is still very much in draft phase. I have to figure out what cards suck and what cards don't. Because this deck got quite a few new toys. But in general, I'm not much of a pet deck haver. This deck is something I have played like every set since it's released. He's so cool, man. The amount of tricks you can do pre-rotation, I was doing kick flips on people. I would go like female Titan attacks, play a patchwork baby, use always cool for more keywords, use ocean buddies for more keywords, and this is a like 10 mid for 15 patchwork baby. It's so cool. He's so cool. And you untap your moment of normalcy, can untap stuff like Queen of Compassion, Fateful Decision, Resting Up. All these cool things. Godzilla versus Mecha Godzilla. Just he has so much sauce, and it makes me so happy. And then the cool new cards that he got. This thing, which is a printed 0 damage move, you block with it, and you basically get to blank their next move. Unfortunately, power tokens exist, so not quite as good there, but I think still worth trying out. I haven't gotten to play too many games yet, only like 2 or 3 matches. Um, Winged Death, the same thing, but on the other end of it, and it's a breaker 2 block. So you block with it, you breaker 2 them, and then you can set their next move speed to 0. Like, how cool is that, man? How cool is that? He's so cool. I've got the one female Titan attacks. It picks up Pale Rider, it picks up Rising Uppercut. Most importantly, it makes a move a 7/7. Um, I've also thought about trying this on water for, you get a couple options. But uh I just like the all symbol too much. You get too many cool cards. I think Winged Death is a great reason to be on all, in addition to some other stuff. And Patrick Baby is like, in terms of old cards, Patrick Baby is like the reason to be on all in this character. In terms of new cards, Winged Death is a great one. Um, and then last but certainly not least, we have a character that I don't know how many people have thought about since she was turned into glue, and this is Pony Tsunotori. Now, I did not like Pony, and if you spoke to me about it before the errata, you would know that I have a very strained relationship with Pony Tsunotori. But now that she plays like a fair mid-range game, suddenly I'm like, mid-range seven-hander with speed hate? That's right up my alley. And to be fair, you could do that before. I just wasn't interested in it. But now I am. Um, she gets a lot of cool stuff. You can Hunter's Ally, build in your strategic meeting, and then play Acidic Sludge, and you stack whatever card you want, and you can draw it with your Pony Enhance. How cool is that? How cool is that? I honestly want to fit a third strategic meeting, but I quite like the ratios that I'm at here. I'm at a cool 66 cards, and I'd honestly like to keep it pretty close to that number. So we need to test and see where we're at with that. But yeah, this deck has 13 views. I hope all of them are me. I keep forgetting that you can look at other people's lists. Like, you can just browse on UVS Ultra. You can go through and be like, what decks are playing Pony Tsunotori, and you can go look at other people's lists. Um, I had an original version of this deck for Godzilla that was playing 4 Destructive Heat Ray and 4 Crushing Impact and 4 Queen of the Monsters, and it was just turbo building in Thunderspear demo and trying to just do a good old Pony impression, and it wasn't very good. So that got scrapped. But this, I'm much more confident in. I think this could actually have some serious legs, thanks to the Earth symbol being kinda crazy right now, and this character still being quite good. Now that everybody's not, tunnel visioning on this enhance, the other three are quite strong. Are quite strong. Having the ability to basically perfect block whatever you want. These are very strong effects, especially right now. I think one of the ways that Titan of Terror can really steal games, especially into squishy seven-handers, is zone checking you, and she gets to really avoid that with the Wish Hards and the Feral Shrieks and the other draw cards. Um, yeah, that's what I got. So we got recap: Godzilla, Titan of Terror, Mitchell Chimino, Jacob Johnson, Mecha Godzilla, the new one, Master Splinter, and Pony Tsunotori. The link for the poll will be in the description, and will also be I will post it in the Discords along with the link to this video when I promote this thingy. Um, If you have any suggestions for the deck lists, any of them, feel free to DM me or at me in any of the Discords that I'm in at Jet Jaguar. Um, and yeah, I think that's about all I got. I know everybody's going to be very upset that this video is sub 1 hour, but it's midnight and I work tomorrow. But I wanted to get this out there so I could get as many responses on the poll as soon as possible, so I could get into playtesting. Because if I do decide to not play Titan of Terror, I definitely want to have a like solid version of the deck. I don't want to be going in with like version 2. Um, so yeah, I think that's all I got. But yeah, if you have any thoughts, if you are a big fan of any of these characters and you've been grinding them and you want to share, I'm always down to yap about deck lists. I love this game and I love deck building. I have so many. But yeah, thanks. Thank you for watching. Please go check out the poll in the description below. And yeah.